tell us how to set these goals, honey.
All right.
So really quickly, just a little bit more about my business. I started my business as a goal, ironically, February of last year. It'll be a year, February 12th of this year, it'll be a year I've been in business. But I started my business partly because I'm in social services, and I identified a lot of people who needed motivation, empowerment, case plans that didn't need it from a clinical standpoint. I had a lot of clients that came to me and they're like, I don't need to be medicated. I don't need therapy. I just need a listening ear and someone to help me fix life. Something very simple, but something also over complex. A lot of clinicians think that everyone needs to be medicated and they need therapy and they need these plans. And all my clients were like, no, I just need someone to listen. I need a job. I need you to help me figure out how to get that job. I need goals. I need structure. So that was one of the reasons I started my business. And because I was once a young lady who, she's known me for years, who was lost. I had no structure. I didn't have anyone to come in and to say, I think you should do this, or this seems like your passion, let me help you, let me show you. So I started my business as a way to help non-clinical patients and people who just need a little structure and support to identify what they're good at, how to make a plan, and how to execute that plan. I didn't know that my business was going to get to where it's at now as far as me speaking and working on a book and, people taking me seriously. So I was like, okay, so this is legit. I have a business. So, I pride myself in making sure that my clients are nurtured in a way that they need to be, but also that I'm very, not stern with them, but firm enough to know that, they're going to do what I'm telling them to do and we're going to do it together. In the clinical world, I noticed a lot of times people give you plans, but they don't do it with you. They can give you all these wonderful plans and case notes, and you're still lost. So I pride myself on making sure that when I give my clients a plan, I work with them through it. I'm not just giving them something to do, and I'm not there with them through the process. So that's a little bit about my wonderful business, T3 Life Coach. My business cards are there, but most of you know me, so you know how to get in contact with me. But today I want to talk to you guys about a few different things. I wanted to talk to you guys initially about the importance of writing down goals, but I was speaking with Nicolia last night, and I identified that you can't write down a good goal if you don't really identify what you're good at. I work with a lot of my clients who they haven't found their niche. They haven't found what they're good at, and they're all over the place. They have a million goals that they will never accomplish. And it's not because the goals are not achievable. It's not the goal for them. That's not the goal they should be completing at this time in their life. So I just want to let you all, talk to you guys about finding your niche. I know for me, when I found my niche, it wasn't easy for me. It took some soul searching, some praying. It took a lot of work, but when I found it, it worked for me. So I know for me, finding my niche, I wrote down everything that I possibly could want to do in my life. Everything from being Beyonce to being Michelle Obama, I wrote it down. Now, I'll never be Beyonce or Michelle Obama, but I found my happy medium, through writing everything down. Once I found my niche, that's when I really went into writing down goals surrounded around that niche. My niche initially, it just said I want to help people. And my husband was like, well, you're already helping people. I'm like, not in a clinical way. So I did some research, I kept researching, and then I stumbled upon life coaching. And I said, I think I could do that. So I read some more on it, and I found that was my niche. And I sat back and I thought about the last 5 years of my life before I started my business. I had already been providing life coaching services for free to families, friends, co-workers, and everything. I was giving people structured plans. I went in my email and even just found old emails of me identifying, options for people and ways that they could accomplish these goals and doing research for them. And I said, if I can do that then, and I didn't know that was my niche, imagine what I could do if I invest in my niche. So I found my niche, which was life coaching, and then from there I wrote down my goals. One of my first goals was to start a company. I was like, I don't know what my company is going to be named, but I know I need a company. So I wrote down the structure of my company, which is how I came up with T3 Life Coaching. I knew I wanted my company to be not bullet points, but structured in a way of a tier. So I came up with Target, Transform, and Thrive. So that was one of the first goals. And then my second goal was to, how am I going to start my business? What am I going to do? How am I going to recruit clients? How am I going to get people to take me seriously? How am I going to get people to know about T3 Life Coaching? So all of that stuff I wrote down, but initially I had to identify my niche. So I want to stress that, I see a bunch of wonderful entrepreneurs in here. Some are fairly new. I know that you're a new entrepreneur. Find your niche. Your goal should be what you want, not what your family wants, your friends want, what you think you should be doing, because we get trapped in, I'm 30, I'm 35, I'm this, I should be doing this. Find what you're good at. Find your passion. Find your purpose, your God-given purpose. Find what it is that you know you've been sent here to do. And once you identify that, I guarantee you can make a profit from it. I know I have. But from there, I wrote down, all the goals from that niche. And like I said, we started a company, developing my plan, and then, some other foundational stuff. The importance of writing down goals is important, but you want to, like I said, first identify what you're good at. From there, I tell people all the time, when you're writing down goals, make sure you're very specific. You could say, I want to be a pilot. What kind of pilot? You have numerous types of pilots. You could say, I want to be an attorney. Okay, what type of attorney you want to be? You want to make sure that your goals are specifically related to your current lifestyle and the lifestyle that you want in the future. You also want, when you look at your goals, you want to be able to see it and visualize it. You don't want your goals to be overwhelming to the point of you feel like they're not achievable. You want your goals to be specific. You want them to be set and toned the way you want them, to be accomplished. And I tell people all the time to use action words when you're establishing goals. You can't say, I want to be a doctor. We all want to be something, but what are you going to be? You have to say, I am going to be a doctor. I am going to be, having my launch party for shoes. I am going to be doing classes for homeowners, first-time home buyers. So you have to use words that give action to your goals and that take control of your goals. I also tell people, most of my clients, they're starting new businesses, to make sure that your goals are measurable. Make sure that you're tracking your process with your goals. Don't accomplish a goal and never track the small accomplishments.
That's
because
right.
you'll get lost in, I'm not doing enough when you've actually done more than you thought. I know for me, I was just telling Sade, we both had a week this week, and I was like, nothing is coming together, and I sat and I wrote down, I said, I've accomplished probably half of the things I wanted to do already within the first couple of weeks of 2017 for my event in March. But I had to write it down to see I have accomplished a lot.
That's right.
Instead of just looking at, not paying attention, I'm just living life. I had to really sit and say, oh my God, I did get this vendor or get this sponsor. I did it. So I was able to see, you said, in December you wanted to have an event in March, and you're well on your way. Without me sitting down and acknowledging the small milestones that I've hit, I would have continued to put myself in a tizzy. And I would have been stressed and overwhelmed about, oh my God, my event is not coming together. So always make sure that you're measuring your progress, however that works for you, writing it down or using your vision board as a way to track your process with goals. But just make sure you're tracking it, because those little milestones will help you through the way. Because it's going to get tough. You all know it's tough being an entrepreneur. You have your days you want to quit. But I guarantee you, if you pay attention to the many milestones in the midst of it all, you'll be fine. And I tell people, make sure goals are achievable. Obviously, again, I can't be Beyonce or Michelle Obama. Those will never happen, but I can be a great trainer. Always find goals that you know you can achieve. And I'm not saying don't make the biggest goals, you want to, but make sure that your goals are something you know you can do. If you know you never plan on being a doctor, don't make that a goal. Because you're putting yourself in a position to internally fail. And by internally fail, I mean you're going to have a battle with yourself about not accomplishing something that you know is not for you. It's not that it's not achievable, but it's going to be very difficult for you to achieve it if it's not for you. So, for you, like you do homeowning, why open a boutique if that's not something you want to do? You probably could do it, but if you know that's not your niche, that's not your passion, well, why put yourself in a position to set goals that you know are just not for you and they're not going to work? So always make sure you're setting goals that, one, you know you can achieve, two, you know you can develop a plan that will make them achievable, and three, you will achieve. So just make sure your goals are achievable and, realistic to you. The fourth part of it is making sure your goals are relevant. I find a lot of people who, my clients too, who make goals that are not relevant to the type of life that they want. And they want goals that are going to be quick and fast and that make no sense. So I tell a lot of my clients, make sure your goals are relevant long-term and short-term. Like for me, one of my long-term goals is to write a book. It's relevant to my life. I wouldn't write a book if I really had nothing to say or if that wasn't within my brand. I'm working on my ebook now. It's in the publishing phase. So it's relevant to me, though. It's relevant to my clients. It's relevant to my business and what I do. I wouldn't set a goal that's not relevant and that's not going to be profitable for me or that doesn't make sense for my brand and business. You can do a lot of things in life, but if it's not for you, you won't make money from it and you won't be happy. So make sure your goals are very much so relevant to the lifestyle that you want. And the last thing I tell, my clients and, my friends is to make sure you put a timeline to your goal. One of the worst things I see is people saying, I'm about to, and they just never put a start date, a check-in date, or a finish date, and you have these goals that are probably great goals lingering. So say you do want to be a doctor. When are you going to start school? What program are you going to go into? What, are you going full-time? Are you going part-time? Where are you going to do your residency? Being a doctor is a huge goal, but if you properly plan it, there's no reason why you shouldn't achieve it. So I tell all my clients and people that I know, make sure that you're structuring your goals in a way that you have a start date, you have a check-in date, and you have a deadline. Now I'm going to be honest, some goals you can have a deadline, you're going to miss that deadline. And that could be due to unforeseen, situations that arise. But if you try to stay to your structured plan, there's no reason why you can't finish your goal on time, maybe a little bit before, maybe a little bit after. I know, who's all entrepreneurs? I know some of you work in the entrepreneurs, but what are your trades? Like, what do you do as far as your business?
But hi everybody, my name is Dominique Jones, but I'm more so known by Chef Nikki. I have a home business by the name of Scratch My Batch. We specialize in signature buttercream cakes. We're now venturing off into breakfast catering. We have cupcakes, cake pops, whatever you need, we got it.
Now, when you started your business, did you write it down? How did you develop your business? How did you find your niche for baking?
Oh wow, I've been baking since I was about 8 years old. I'm 26 now, but I didn't figure out this is really what I wanted to do with my life until I was about 23. I was baking for family and friends like I always do, and it came about from my family like, oh, you should sell this. And because I'm like kind of a shy person, I didn't want to really go into it, but like I started praying about it more and like talking to my family more, and I was just like, you know what, just go for it. And I didn't have a set like written out plan. I had more so people like Trinity and other entrepreneurs like Danielle and Brittany. We got together for a creative co-working event, and we learned from another entrepreneur by the name of Toya how to set out goals. I had no idea about any of that stuff.
See,
So write out goals and everything else. So
and that's what I'm coming
That's
across
how
a
that
lot of
started.
people who, like, she's been baking since she was 8. Who's to say if she wouldn't have started establishing goals at 9 or 10 years old, that her business wouldn't have started sooner than 23. And it's great that she finally found her niche and her passion, but imagine if someone would have came in earlier and said, I identified that you're really good at baking, let's sit down and come up with a plan. I just met an entrepreneur a few weeks ago. He's 7. He's been on ABC, WGN, and everything. He lives in, I want to say, the Maywood area. His family allowed him to express his niche, and they sat him down and they developed a business plan for him at 7. He does donations for toys, and he takes them to hospitals for sick children. But imagine if no one took the time, to identify his niche, to allow him to freely express himself, and then sit down and write down goals. This young man showed me his goal list. It's as elaborate as ours. At 7, but someone took the time to structure and make sure they were, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant to this little 7-year-old life. And they put a time frame on it. I'm sure this young man is going to go on to accomplish great things, but it's because he identified at 7. I don't know what I was doing at 7. It wasn't identifying a goal. But he identified what he was good at, and his family helped him develop a plan. And I want to go on WGN News. But imagine, I'm saying this to say that if he's 7 and he can identify his niche and came up with some goals and an action plan for it, imagine what we could do as women, as entrepreneurs, as a community, if we really just took the time to invest in ourselves and what we're doing and how we're doing it, paying attention to being strategic and making sure that we're identifying what we're good at, continuously developing those skills and making great plans to accomplish great things. And like Brittany and Daniel said, it's so many clicks in entrepreneurship, especially amongst women, that we miss opportunities to help identify, pull greatness out of. We miss that because we're so caught up in whatever we're caught up in. And I know quite a few of the ladies here, and they've helped me. She's always giving me ideas. I'm always piggybacking off of her. Nicole and I have a weird energy that's just like sparks flying everywhere. But we come up with great stuff because we allow each other to, help one another when we say